Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pannonian Avars series here on the Lord Master channel, which, yeah, God, it was chaotic. That's all I'm going to say about the last episode. It was freaking chaotic. Chaotic because nearly the entire nation of the Khaganate was in revolt. And the reason why? Mainly because of liberty. The Liberty War, which is to lower the crown authority from absolute to high, which I had to give in after a series of battles which did not go well on our end. But what went well was that they also attempted to fight for independence over certain areas of the Khaganate, and we dealt with them. And there was also a Northman invasion in the part of the Zaporizhia area there. Lavidia in particular. Northmen try to invade there again. Well, obviously they have failed once again. And you know, it kind of makes me think about White Rus up there. Because obviously I have Serbia ran by the Sicilians. Will continue to remain so, which we do have a marriage alliance with them. And because of the weakness that was shown in our Khaganate and the lack of the ability to deal with them in revolts, and as well as have a habit of like to get into intervening other people's conflicts, I've decided that I am not only focusing on majesty, which I don't expect to become august. Rather, I should be working more as a diplomat. I should be thoughtful, have defensive negotiators so vassals can respect me a little more, and possibly embassies. Yeah. It's just a possibility of why don't we negotiate an alliance with another. So I was looking at White Rus up there as a possibility. And then switch over to stewardship, which I would go for administrator, and maybe till the end of my life I'd like to be remembered as not only a patriarch, but as an administrator. I don't usually go to that route, because that usually works if you're a vassal and things, but it gives you a vassal levy contribution. That's tyranny. Vassals less likely to join independence factions. Change the loyalty, which adds even more learned language scheme power. Likeable. Positions of power. All these contributions, they seem pretty great, especially when you're running a pretty large Khaganate such as this one, that we beat the heck out of each other and such. Well, we're not expected to switch our focus until 4 years later, so that's why I'm expected to pick up a few perks, and then we'll switch on over to more of an administrative thing. I mean, I'm in my mid-30s, so I want to be remembered as a bit of a diplomatic man, as I already have that education, as a Crusader veteran. But I just want to be leaving my legacy just to show them what good governance looks like. So that way we don't make those same mistakes ever again. And plus, there's many other things to do, which will be for this episode. Well, let's raise a little bit of money first. Queen Elizabeth, not of England, of Bavaria, neighboring ruler. Really? Typically a vassal would do. Oh my goodness! It's quite around, huh? Anyway, so when Memorial takes shape, the mightiest men must lead this earth. Their deeds, their acts, their swollen worth, and when their final hours nears, wonder, will life echo through the years? So far, kept my thoughts rushing with the buzz, but grown to marry. Right I got nothing against Bavaria, so I'm just gonna say something that would make him mad. I don't know how I feel quite about this. Poem is mocked, so I gain some prestige. prestige is another priority that I need. For a myriad of reasons. That's the reason why I said, save up some money first. Then we'll hold court soon. And bearing in mind, our capital is back down to Crete again. Because of the revolt. Had to escape. So yes, our second capital. Who else is in my prison that I can remember? Oh yes, you're the one who rebelled against me. From now on, you must be Catholic. I'd be willing to release the vassals that fought against me in the revolt war, but you must be Catholic. No more orthodoxy. Message. I already got something else from thinking. Yes. That means we can develop faster. Should go for urbanization. It'll take 19 years. Oh, come on. Listen. So, you got this princess and this other princess and this other princess. And my first son, Chet, who is quick. But out of all the children, she's the genius. I gotta get that High Crown Authority back in 20 years. Which I'll be around for 20 years, no doubt. So that way I can designate her as heir. If I want the genius. But my wife and lover is still young. And I got plenty more children to go. Plenty more where that came from. Chippy. What? Oh, slow down. What task finished? Oh, good. Full control. An experienced fighter. Come on in. Ah, just short. Monthly lifestyle experience. I don't know if I were to do it with this character. I would rather do it for the next one, and someone who is a genius. And this. Now I can't see that either. May have the stewardship, but I'm not that kind of person. That'll be for the next ruler. But let's hold court first before you do any of those. Yep, we're back into this old Cretan court. A commotion arises from the back of my court before anyone can grab him. A man rushes up to my throne, halting before me, but offering no difference. One look in his eyes is all I need to know. This man's not mentally sound. Monster, you sent us to die. Why do you go unpunished? From this man's ranting, I've discerned that he had somehow been involved in one of my wars. Well, we only had revolt wars. He was probably so distressed. What is to be done with this lost creature? Man's a goddamn lunatic. This man has no chance. No chance at all. I'll give him the devil he wants. Oh, before we continue with this court business, I actually have never done this before. Single combat duels. Because I knew there was something missing about this series that I have not done. This kind of duel. We've never seen this screen before. But anyways, for a few brief moments, Dungeons and I pace in lazy half circles, watch for an opening. I heft my Elena's sword ready to defend myself while he clutches his hammer firmly to hand. Only one of us is walking away here today, and I intended to be me. With a sudden twitch, our bout begins. Ginzig shifts into a defense stance, his hammer forming a damned near impenetrable wall of perfect praise between me and him. Strike very repulsive, all throw out a fury of rapid attacks and counters. High chance that I would succeed, medium increase to the risk of injury should I get hurt, which doesn't even matter to me. But he has low chance. I leap into action, launching a flurry of quick slashes, driving myself hard against his guard, wearing him down with expertly timed strike. His retorts carefully calculated, waiting for precisely the right moment to reply with several thumps of his hammer. My form is good, but only with small errors, and his stance is formidable. We are evenly matched, with victory bouncing on a knife edge. Yeah, man's a lunatic. But nobody says. I'll show how I heft the sword. Confident attack. With skill and poise, I make a series of well-placed strikes. This may work. My sword flows around him like water, each strike chaining fluidly onto the next. A series of perfectly timed attacks. He retaliates with a smooth flowing series of rapid thumps and crushing thwacks, with each strike forcing me back a little more. My form is good, with only small errors. His stance is formidable. We are evenly matched. I'll just say, is that the best all you got? You can't even hit me. Time and again, I backpedal, dodge, and weave, always keeping just within a tempting target distance, soon showing signs of exhaustion. It seems he is famed for his abilities with the hammer, but he reminds me of his perfect flowing chain of rapid thumps, punctuated by the occasional terrifying crushing thwack. My form is excellent, with little chance of mistake, and his stance is incredible. My opponent's guard is fierce, and I feel far from victory. Well, because I'm an aspiring blade master back in my younger years, I am the fastest blade in all of Kunzakal. I'll do a blade dance, a series of flashy expert moves to ensure my dueling prowess will be talked about for years, as I will gain prestige for this. High chance this will work. And there's a high chance of likelihood for success, low the risk of injury. I whirl my sword with a deadly flourish, weaving a song of pain across my opponent with every blow. Stroke by stroke, my symphony of pain takes shape over every nerve, drawing screams like a choir song punctuated by a ring of steel on steel. When my inspiration begins to run dry, I cut my dance short, allowing my foe to collapse to his knees. Blood pours off of him, so much so that he could barely muster the urge to look at me. I do him a courtesy of return to his gaze, and I'm ready my sword for the symphony's final note. Goodbye! Because I win this duel, because this was a sudden death duel. So he's killed by me, and my durability of this sword has been decreased. All temporary combat modifiers have been removed. Right. That takes care of him. Now, back to business. Before the court is underway, my chancellor pulls me aside. To my surprise, he is brandishing a garishroll. My lord, there were so many attending your court. I knew our somewhat challenging, remembering every face from whence it hails. I propose solution. We will require all that the court wear dress, which includes local style recognizable to all. He foists a scarf at me. Well, for those of our clear regional fashions, I've taken the liberty of hiring a tailor who could suggest some new traditional garb for them to wear. Hey, I never forget a face. I shall be fine. The Republic of Rhodes. The mayor comes forward, presenting a marked caution. His Grace, my city of Lindos grows richer by its dealings with trading ships which fly to havens from along Kunzikal's coast. We've made our town and you prosperous and deserve great influence over Rhodes. You ask too much. There must be some other way, which of course, Mercantile Charter. You got it. Wonderful. Defeated him in combat and all my stress went away and all that prestige went up. Where are these guys going? You ain't gonna get that lusty book. Days. Mastic smugglers. My guards, together with some cooperative locals, arrested a number of traders and bandits who were involved in illegally smuggling mastic outside of Chios. As the ruler of Chios, it is my right to get a portion of the profits earned from the ancient mastic trade. And all mastic trade is under my jurisdiction. This is a grave crime. Imprison them and confiscate any mastic they have. I'm thinking, oh yes. I've thought about expanding into Corinthian territories for some time. But since I don't have the ability to, don't have the ability to buy claims, or even get them requested by the Pope, but I don't have enough piety for that. I should go on a pilgrimage. Now that you have the money. Go to Cologne. Sounded the part. For every week that passes, my fellowship grows ever smaller. Some have gone as far as before the need to return home overtakes them. Others met with less fortunate ends. Most worrying is the fact that my group of personal guards is thin out at an alarming rate. That fact alone shows what kind of treacherous journey it could be. All I need is the protection of God. Wants to make a box. His skill's really decent. Stewardship. Eek. No, sir. Not doing it. A mystic. Duchess Effa is one of the stranger people I met on this journey. She seems to be a firm believer, but also expounds on the true nature of God and what it all means. At night, her tent is lit up by the candles within, occasionally strange shining unusual incense from it. I'm wholly unprepared when it bids me to enter. She looks homely, but she's a wise woman. Jeez. Quite curious. Inside Effa's tent, I'm greeted by the strong smells and overwhelmingly hot and heavy air. It is the point we turn our gaze within ourselves, she explains to us. I want you to close your eyes and focus as I do. Let God flow through you. Reach for the ecstasy of divinity. As my hiding skill, I can say, yes, I can feel my connection to the Lord. After following her instructions, I could see it much more clearly. I can feel it. God, the world. It has been coursing through my body, through my soul. When I emerge from 10 hours later, I have a new understanding of myself and of life. I was blind before, and now I see. Now I'm a wise man. Which isn't a virtue, because that used to be a virtue of the old faith centuries ago. I'm finally here, body and soul, at the great church of Cologne. As the bishop offers me blessings, I reflect on everything that had to happen. For God to bring me here at this moment in time. I have walked the holy path. Now you're a devoted servant. Pilgrimage ends. Since you're a wise man now, that means you can hold a mystical communion. Yes. Divine guidance. I've learned the Serbo-Croatian language. I'll send a letter to him in Srpsko-Hrvatski. And now you must learn another important language of the land. Czech Slovene. Development's up at 10. You can stop now. I'll start developing this area. Because this needs help. Come on in. They should call you the linguist. I have insulted you. Oh, that reminds me. Just to prevent other people from drawing factions against me ever again. At a reasonable age. Especially one of the dukes. Oh dear! Oh, I was just stretching. Good. Now give me 1,000 more and I'll start carrying. You've been excommunicated. What did you ever do to piss him off? You're not a sinner. Maybe it's because you're an albino. And they want you out. Oh, you take out. It's kind of my touch, a lawless fugitive Gregor that stained your court. Had him over to my justice, I will forgive his slight. It shall be done. The Beast of Svetgava. My Marshal Buzan approaches the throne with disquieting news from us. My lord, I have fear reports of attacks committed by one or more beasts of formidable teeth and immense tails. Witnesses describe a wolf or a large furry beast terrorizing the countryside and preying on shepherds and isolated farmsteads. Local authorities besiege to help to vanquish this foul creature. So it's happening over here. Over here. Saint Cosmin, the Serbian knight. My son and heir Chant. Just like other children his age, Chant sometimes lies and tests boundaries. However, he often avoids suspicion of his sweet demeanor, and people always forgive him when he gets caught. Just wonder how much he gets away with. Charming man, huh? Hi, Jean, and I have a little in common. Goodbye. Which made it a little difficult to communicate with some effort. I can teach myself enough to carry a conversation about the metaphysical nature of the soul. The subject deserves as much study as can afford. Holy crud. This again? Chaos. Serene Doge. This is to pay him and to send us to the priest. Bravo, who are we at? To arms. Hearts cut off and destroyed. Till 1167. Cosmin, the Serbian knight, who is a legendary blade master, master hunter, strong, valiant warlike courtier, one of the best. To my most esteemed lord, I have arrived in Svetgava with a retinue of 4 pikemen and 4 bowmen. We spoke to one of the first witnesses, a young woman preyed upon while tending cattle. She was fortunate, as her bulls, frantic with fear, drove away the beast, and she thus survived. Her account of a wolf-like beast capable of taking great strides, the courts of other stories differ. We will now scour the area of the most recent attacks, looking for tracks and other clues as to the beast's whereabouts and nature. Signed, Cosmin. I'm curious of what they find. You killed a man? Yes. they find the thing. No. I want the whole thing. There are many differences between me and myself. One was the sorry state of the County of France. Or perhaps some of the methods we employ in the County of Chandax. It could be useful in the County of Project too. Made it clear a well-funded land project would be greatly appreciated. You got it. I'm willing to spend my money on that. Cosman Sub. We've heard another beastly attack, this time on 2 young children. Only a day's ride away. Upon our arrival, we found the villagers much distraught as the 3rd child was reported missing the very morning. With the help of the local hunter and his 2 hounds, we eventually found the poor child's head, but alas, nothing else of her. The search, however, revealed large tracks heading deeper in the forest, which we hurried to follow. I pray our quarry is nearby. The hunt is in earnest. Keep in mind, he's intimidating me, despite being deceitful, but despite his old age, who's gonna tell him no? Wait, don't you know what it means to be... still stuck in the early medieval? Anyways. The beast drove us on a merry chase for near on a week. However, we finally caught up to it in the fog of early dawn. The beast, which we could now see, was actually a wolf larger than I have ever seen. Mistakenly found itself caught between us and a deep bog. Bog, not bog, which is Serbian language for God. It had to face us as it could no longer flee. Okay, here's more. Okay, here we go. Bow shots bounced off harmlessly of its hide, and thus I approached it with the pikemen, their long lances keeping the beast at bay as we slowly encircled it. Cornered, it lunged at me, locking its jaw around the greave that was just thick enough to save my leg. Surprised perhaps at the metallic resistance, it paused, a moment of hesitation that cost its miserable life as I swung my sword onto its neck. We exhibited a foul corpse in a nearby village until enough witnesses confirmed that this was indeed the dreaded beast. Well done! Now you've made plenty of people respect you more. Company, and I gained prestige. Some prestige for it because I'm the one that sent him out there. So all the fellow commanders and knights and other vassals all respect him more. Zivio Kosman! Zivio! Zivio is long-lived in that language. Plus, I could say that because, again, Labertam knows sober Croatian. Delicate affairs. Duke Labertam has been a real help the past few days, aiding me in my efforts to share his alms time with our neighbors. He has just offered himself again to help me gain Queen Elizabeth's trust. It's so hard to find someone who can truly rely on these days. I need more friends. I shall remember your kindness. You know, you were the leader of the rebellion that started it all. He chopped some wood for small health boost. Huh, how about that? After learning that Patriarch would be attended a dance in the village of Lozova, I decided it would be a perfect occasion to pass by and show him like it's a face-to-face time. The ball was exquisite and he put on a fine show. Afterward I told him how impressed I was and we got to talking. By the time I left, it felt that we had known each other a lifetime already. What a good day! Here we go again with this BS. On a drinking bed, sees very, very stressed. No money. I could try to befriend him. But one second. Give him those sponges. He'll have some sponges, so he can have that small health boost and have a higher opinion towards me. The island of Khagan, north of Rhodos, has been renowned as a major exporter of sea sponges since ancient times, and the sponge trade has brought the island much wealth given the difficulty in acquiring sea sponges. Anyhow, as I control the island, I decided to give him some of these famed Pannonian sponges as a present. They're high quality and stand true and certain it's fitting gift. I hope he will make good use of those sponges. In addition, I'm going to send you some money. So you'll look at me more positively. Let's be friends. No Liberty faction. Parents. You raise her. Discussing Lord's Lays in my realm with Duke Austro and my best Duke Mayor Sandil, and I realized that Austro is entirely lost in regards to the subject, trying hard not to make him out of the fool. I freeze when Mayor Sandil asks either of us to explain the thing to him. I'll be willing to spend prestige. He should explain. He possesses sharp insight. Oh, I remembered something else. Visegrad. Get this. It'll be the most fortified fortress in the mainland. Wants to forge a mace. How's your health? He's fine despite being spindly, but you can't tell. My goodness. This martial and prowess. His prowess is high, and martial combine that? Very good. I'll be willing to invest in that. Get me a mace. My knight, a shot. Get the Armenian. So, now there's no need for dedication. You're gonna have a man of prestige lately. Now, defensive negotiations. My vassals will respect me a little more, and so will independent rulers. Because I would like to have a negotiated alliance with White Rus, obviously known in their language as Belarus. In fact, that's not even Belarusian at all, in the sense of who's what. One, they're Swedish, no doubt descendants of Nords, but it was through his mother that worships a Siberian faith. It's actually in Europe, but they originate up there. So, Tumorism, what is that? Siberians believe in a horizontal world where men and beasts all live in clans, linked together through alliance or vengeance. Hunting is a core part of the equilibrium between taking and giving life, when with death all source travel downstream to reincarnate in the clan they lived previously. In Siberian faith that can only be found up there. And somehow to that extent it made its way there, into that part of Europe. Amazing. They believe in ancestor worship, just like the old faith of the Tengrists here. ritual celebrations, and sanctity of nature. They are righteous. Unlike our old faith, which we tend to have everything criminalized, this is shunned. While male adultery is accepted, but females are shunned? What the heck? I can understand witchcraft being accepted. What a strange religion. And hunter traits is a virtue, along with bravery, generous, and temperate, while vengeful, craven, and greedy are sins. We consider them evil, and they consider us as evil, so we cannot tolerate them. But they don't get all the benefits, because it's not under their control. But still, one day, I gotta root out the old orthodoxy element. You. Oh, are you the one that... Aha. But of course you can't do that because it's pretty recent. Just looking. You should be doing that. Since you won your first duel, you should be challenging people for artifacts and such. Promise the dedication would send a strong message about my good intentions towards Duke Ostro. Anyone appreciates as a powerful favor. Yeah, get a weak hook on me, but either better know or just... Yeah, it's better to avoid things like that. It's only for 4 months. It's not that big of a deal. But I'll tell you what's a big deal. Not enough court positions. We're going to start appointing them again since we're making so much money. It's like there's words for it. This is ridiculous, Lord protests. As keeper of the Khagan's personal collection, I have responsibility to ensure the quality of your work. You'll see once finished, he retorts. She leaves man work when he's forging a face fit for royalty. Lord will ensure its quality. But unfortunately, it'll be of lower quality. Please be a genius. Please be a genius. Please be a genius. Nothing! But I'll name it after my unfortunate father. Because Karan has become an unfortunate name in my personal opinion. Try again. Submerged Shrine. While on patrol in the wilderness of Vishigrad, I guess I just came back to the old capital for a visit. A couple of my soldiers discovered a small wayside shrine. What is odd about it, however, that it is mostly submerged under one of the lakes in that region. Our soldiers, they lay prudent and questioned some of the locals about this landmark, and they said it had always been here for years. And they had assumed that it was a shrine of sort to God built by people who lived here for generations ago. There was once abandoned in the waters of the lake that got too high. At any rate, I wonder if we might want to do a little engineering project and move the shrine from its current location back onto land. But to go through that idea, I'll have to expend some resources to do so. Let's do it. I'm sure God would be pleased. Enjoyable week. After learning that Duke Ostro would be a guest at a manor in the castle town of Kremd, I realized it would be the perfect occasion to meet with him. By my request, I was seated next to him for the duration of the dinner, and we both had a great time. I was surprised how much we had to talk about. By the time I left, it feels like we had known each other a lifetime already. Such a pleasant man. Who else wants to be my friend? Yeah, you have a bit of issues with me, but we should be friends. And once I befriend you, I urge you to become Catholic. My lord, look at all that metal. I've never seen such high quality, fine quality before. How shot bricks with the marked procession and customers selling coat on. A stagger was fun. With this, my project would reach new heights. I could create something truly marvelous. My car was still a gift for me. Oh god. Of course, sure, you must get a fair price. Convince them to get a fair price. Pay up. Come on in, friend. Present her with a gift. Oh, I don't want to come on too strong. You're guaranteed a befriender. Ah, Wine by the Lake by Stanislav Gurman. Truly a great collection of Czechoslovakian poetry. Time of heritage. Mightiest men must leave this earth. Their deeds, their acts, their swollen worth, and hope only for disgrace. The time of conquest and the faith. I can see myself becoming a poet. Yeah. Voice for level of fame. I think I will try. Find myself quite talented. I'm a poet too. It's a miracle. I attend out a vision from God. It ensures that the Countess and I are divinely ordained to be friends. Yeah, tell about this vision. Khagan's treasure. My devotions is used as an example of all, from mighty king to lowly beggar. And with that come the disciples. Today, Krum ushered in. I'm introduced as representing the small Pannonian Avars mercenary band from Alex and Celescaver. Most holy Khagan. My friends and I here are wondrous mace being made for you. We wish to donate your website. We're deeply honored so much. We've saved for months. It is I am honored. Alright, finished learning that language. Send in a letter. Respect. Okay. What's another important language at all? Dacian Vulgar. I could send a poem. That's another way to improve relations. In fact, improve relations for now. Send in the gift. You got it. Don't need that anymore. No, never. Okay, White was Swedish. And you're a poet like me. Your health is fine. He's got a yogurt recipe. A famed trinket. Medium health boost. I'm jealous! Makes me wanna... Oh. Yes, I know the faith differs between us and one another. Oh, it doesn't matter what kind of poetry I'm going to give him. He's going to mock it anyhow. No alliance between us. In fact, he's got too many. But it's just to keep factions at bay. My goodness, the Kingdom of Moldovia title was never formed? Holy crud! A flying mace of masterful craftsmanship, wrought iron headed, mounted on a sultan handle. Oh my god! Look at the prowess! This is more than lovely. This is way better than this sword, which has seen its better years. Give me that mace. This is Khagan Labertam's mace. Quite possibly the deadliest weapon in the world now. Get everything repaired. The court artifacts, check them too. The ones that's displayed. I'm actually glad I made that investment. Combine that armor, that mace. It makes you want to go fight somebody, but remember, you're supposed to be an administrator. A diplomat, then administrator. Which I'll soon switch after we get this one more perk. That's gonna have to work to make the Countess like me. She's turned out to be the friendliest person I know. Told me there was always room by her heart for new acquaintances. Oh, not say no to that kind of invitation. You want to forge a magnificent weapon? Well, give it a shot. Got your sword, you got your mace. How about a spear? Hope for the best. I finally persuaded her to abandon her misguided support for the Liberty faction. So we're not quite friends yet, but that'll get her out. Haunted by a ghost. That damn man. He's gonna be around for long, so I might as well befriend her. Longer their strange goods, merchants bring told tales of dissonance, unverifiable, full of wonder. A group of Bulgarian peddlers, bold enough to brought old-past objects, said to come from the faraway court of the Great Ruler. God posts semblance second of blue, no less. Bale, a leading trader, grinned sluggily. I've seen your Greco-Roman bar. Part of it I'll give you this one-of-a-kind spear. Looks for the guidance. Can I recommend his work on the reach? Hammer dense and wistful. He nods me stupidly. Now, we're getting our own. So, lately, my efforts pressed to have fallen flat. My friendship with Mayor Jaromir is still standing on shaky ground. It's a mess. However, I got a brilliant idea. I'll have my beneficiary tackle the added dedication masterpiece she is making. The flattered dedicatee who deeply touched my generosity and benefits. I will have no choice but to like me more. To Jaromir. How many friends do I have? 5. 300 gold. As their Khagan, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law, But how much is obedience without devotion worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I afford such a risk? I will win their unwavering loyalty. Vassals must respect me more. Finger bones of a Khagan. A peddler in cloak with dozens of baubles and knickknacks sewn into the levels up there. I have a magnificent salt, an illuminated manuscript sculpted ivory cover, ordained with turquoise beads. It contains tales of man and woman in love. The carvings the breast cartoon, so she would never again think lie with another. The Salter of Cuckoldery? What the? I was about. I'll get prestige just fine. So, let me see that artifact. I'm willing to spend it. Let me see that shit. Again, I'm not using that. Passing from Cuckoo to Kozen throughout the ages, this tome was said to be the finest gift one could give to a spouse. At least the ivory figures on the cover seemed happily married. It's just a trinket book. God dang it, man. Don't you know how to fabricate? The old Patriarch just got assassinated. And we got a new one who is... I'm starting to wonder. You know, to the main line, I don't think you made much investments of that over there. Because I figured it's about time that you put investments in Havas. Because of taxation reasons. Oof, well, Dawn, you've been falling behind. Really? Still stuck? What kind of people are you? Even the Bosnians are ahead of us sometimes. Far from it. Well, anyways, figured it's about time to start appointing the new court positions of everything. Because you made so much money that you might as well. Plus, our court graduate's been going up and down a lot. I didn't know my mother's still alive. Alright, who wants to be the jester? Well, I guess... Oh, no, just this guy. You'll do. After all the appointments we made, we still make fine money. Baron Pavlov's wickedness has always bothered me, but recently I've been getting on my nerves more than ever. I want to get back at him. What form shall I take? Write a witty poem mocking all of his feelings, his many feelings. Let me guess. Poem rejected. After writing several poems mocking his character, I spread them around the court away from the catch-all. Unfortunately, my writings are less than popular. In fact, everyone is pretty much agreeing that the poet's poems are drivel that is not worth on the paper they're written on. I'm just glad I didn't put my name on it. Oh, come off it, Cosman. You may have killed that thing, but did you notice the shape of that man? Where's Cosman? And I just saw the way that man is shaped. Oh, food taster. Shield maiden and a food taster. Oh, thanks. Now we can switch that focus. There's no need to learn more languages all at once because of the limits. Now I've got to go for duty focus. I do not typically go for that, not because that small stewardship added. But enemy agent acceptance make it less likely for people to assassinate me, but courtiers and guests will have to respect me a little more. So I will be going for administrator, which I do not typically do that. It takes 2 years, but we can add a little more for that. Let me see. I knew there's a stewardship book somewhere. Ah, here it is. Avar administration of the kingdom. Put him here. Still 2 years. Somebody's trying to plot to kill me. I suspect it would be him. I told you about the enemy reduced. What a good day for the dance. Call to war. Serbia versus Sicily. Serbian claim on Bari. Well, that's over in Italia. In fact, this is the last bastion of Kingdom of Sicily, even though some of that is a bit down there. Yeah, I'll be there. I'm not. That's not what I hesitated. I was texting. I was just like, yeah, I'll be there. I got nothing better to do. Now, the father of history. though he wasn't born on the island. The famous ancient historian Herodotus is said to have lived on Samos during his youth. It is interesting to reflect on how this respected man once walked and played in the territory under my jurisdiction. Me being a man of prestige, I would say, don't they call Herodotus the father of lies? I think he's unreliable. Of course, that's my ignorant ass talking. Have to set sail from Pomoria. Send in men-at-arms and our knights only. Germany. Yikes. I'll just capture the capital and hope things will go well. So they'll be attacking Serbian territory, but I think it would be wise to land here just to avoid them. Huh? Who's there? Oh, here we go again with this bullshit. It's Crimea this time. Look at this big bastard. Not gonna abandon Serbia for this one. I help you, you help me. Alright? Still gonna fight you the old-fashioned way. Look at how big of him guys compared to me. Damn that man. Damn them all. Ah, Jesus. My Jester, Helios, Norvez, fantastically entertaining insults as I happen to stand face to face with my cousin Mala. Just time to hear a particularly scathing roast. You vile Amorosa, you brooding witch. Your unrestrained emotions and brooding are legendary. You are a shiver, like for a spine to run up you, Amorosa. He says as if possessed by seeing. Her face is red and she knows that I'm watching, so she manages to paint laughter. Don't get upset. You're most perceptive still. Yes, learn to fear the men of Sicilian Serbia. In fact, that's kind of doubly, intimidating. Sicilian and a Serb. Can you imagine if that guy is willing. If Basilia has the prestige to create this Sicilian, Sicilo-Serbian or Serbo-Sicilian culture, that'd be quite interesting. Anyways. We're sailing abroad, but I am not sending men to Crimea just yet. This is just the Duchy of Crimea, just this part. We'll deal with them. Wait for reinforcements. Are you a genius? Yes, he is! That's what we want! Why are you so excited? Thinking of a name that would sound good in the history books. That sounds a little unusual. We already had an Organa long ago. Think, think, think. Kano? Kano? Okay, I'll take that. It's not Kurt, but okay, let's move up. Where the hell are you Serbs going? You going after Germany? You might win the battle, but do you have what it takes? Because if you had what it takes to win, then more commander traits than the other person, which is the queen herself. She's in charge of the army. It's just a logistic. What's your advantage? 22. I'm gonna regret this. I'm actually gonna lead. She may have more commander traits than me, but I have more to the advantage. The knights will be with me, and so is the men-at-arms. Defeat Sicilian forces, and then we'll all be good. As I finally learn Dacian Vulgar. And send a letter in. There is one more language to learn. You should learn the language of the East Slavs. Or maybe the Norse language. Who knows? Despite the fact that they come from a completely different faith, which they're not going to let that go. My goodness, the Sindhi people are still around. They speak the Vrachada language. And I'm surprised nobody ever bothered them to take the lands back. For once, I'm just going to learn this very unusual language. And I say unusual because it's from that part of Europe. Here we are. What have I got myself into? Killed them all. Oh God, what happened to Serbia? The alliance expired. But they're still with us in the war, but... that takes years. No. One of your brothers. Because, you know, don't want to let the genius go. It's like, well then, why don't we just have Serbia for ourselves? Karan. How about it? When you betrothed, now that our alliance is back on, and instead of Sicilians ruling Serbia, it should be us ruling Serbia, another part of that dynasty. Increase the rate of the thing, yes, far into the future. Now let's go get that capital and get that queen. And I'm aware there is Northmen already in the eastern lands. Nothing I can do about that right now because all the good men are that way. goodness, are those Germans mad? They must be mad. They send in their best. Oh, he's a strategist, so it crosses rivers and streams without advantage penalties. But it's still a penalty because they're about to be disembarked here. These men are nuts. And they're going to take some less friendly fatal casualties on their part. There's going to be some defensive buildings to their advantage. I don't know about this. We're outnumbered here. But we're going to try to kill them as much as we can. Since they made an amphibious assault on us. Big mistake. Indulging myself in combat against some of the enemy's levies, I find myself slashing through the weaker, less trained forces of these, cutting down a few enemies of every few minutes. The soldiers alongside me are equally thrilled as their unmatched skills get them easy kills. Eventually, I find myself clashing with a slightly shorter, skinnier opponent who rushes me frantically. I step aside and allow them to fall past me and stumble down. As they stand themselves up, their helmet slips off, revealing the face of a boy, no older than 16 years old, and now with a single hair growing on their face, whilst they clutch their blade bravely. I know this fight is unfair. Do I sit down about killing him, or do I cut him down like a rest? The boy is 12! God dang it. He's just a kid. I'll be merciful. Knock the boy unconscious. Idiots. You look like you could be capable. Just capture the capital and the war will be over sooner or later. Yeah. The Khagan cares. It's no secret I'm working hard on learning the Vrachada language. It seems that's become common knowledge among the Sindhi peasantry. They refer to me as the Khagan cares. A flattering thing indeed. Even the lower nobles are lauding my efforts. I feel like my efforts have brought the Greco-Roman Avars and Sindhis closer together. Perhaps I should hold a speech in both Vrachada and Urga. And they would call me the Kind. Now, that's a nickname I would like to have. Despite my flaws. Oh, those suicidal people. 100% more score. We captured the queen. Surrender now or things are gonna get ugly. And then after that, we must sail to Crimea. And the levies will meet up. Got 6 prisoners to my name. Stop the war, Serbia, please, before we're all gonna die here. Swinging to and from my blade, I find myself increasingly covered in my skills. As a warrior amidst the battle I'm fighting in. Is this what being unstoppable feels like? Suddenly I'm brought back there as I narrowly dodge a blow from an enemy swordsman. The strike he sent on me was rigid as the side of my head, instead scratched across my face, leaving me stunned and bleeding. Not as unstoppable as I thought. After retreating from immediate combat to assess my situation, I noticed the damage in my body received. While it's not absolutely lethal, it's certainly something to be concerned about. Noticing my concern, my fighter, Militus, hurries over, convinced he has enough training in the medical field to give me emergency attention in this battle. Oh god. 34% chance I'll lose wounded, 30% chance that I'll be treated, 26% chance that my wound turns severely injured. Do what you can. Treatment helps a lot. Aha! Great job! Now assemble. Over in Crimea, in this end here. Once I arrive there, then we shall meet them. Come on over. Where are these yahoos? You just left? Can't fabricate Corinthia with anything. She's an architect now. Concentric castle in Visegrad is complete, which gives us the ability to build more buildings that is of this era. The freeholds. Big jump attacks and even some levy size too. I'm fine. We're not moving until the men-at-arms arrive here. Even though it may look like we're deliberately starting ourselves, but don't give a damn. We'll use our numbers. Mow them through. It's all step from here, which fortunately our horse archers fight at most best at the step. Forge a magnificent weapon. Skills merely decent. Oh no, you're not gonna do that. I'm kind of surprised of all this. Diverged from Greek, Rhodopes. It's even in Constantinople, so that's what the diverged looks like. But I believe it's named after an area that's from there. This is its culture head. He's the one responsible for introducing that. Sorry, where did that come from? The Rhodopes culture. It happened during his time, so it might have been through them. There's still a widespread Greek kingdom. Oh dear, inbred. Because there's no one else around. Who are these people? Never thought I would be friends with a Muslim, but it's only because of interests. One more language to learn. Start speaking East Slavic. Chiefess of Kiev. Also from that group religion that seems to be spreading in these parts. I knew it, it was my rival. Oh, what I would do to you now. Gone. Didn't you learn? My goodness, all these notifications. Anything else? It's hold court time. A church for a Patriarch. My Patriarch now bows for me, eager to begin his process. My lord, your county of Patriarch. This lacks a significant church where locals can pray and honor the Lord. You must help fund a new house of worship in Sanok for the good of the Catholic faith. You got it, for the glory of God. Shadow and night. The man who approaches my throne is clear and confident. My lord, he began his speech. I represent the local community of Rekala. In the last 2 months, our cemeteries have been plagued with disappearance of bodies, all been dug of low trees. First a few violence, obscure cause about the war. But then your own court possessed body was caught red-handed hauling the weekdays. Please put a stop to this blasphemy. Well, why didn't you invite me? I gained some intriguing lifestyle experience. My acquaintance, Mayor Chichepi, hurries to my side. Her bloodshot eyes searching for something. My lord, I'm sure someone at Khaganate's out to get me. I have no evidence, but I suspect Count Alexandru. He has always positioned himself as my enemy. I beg of you, imprison him, put a stop to this madness. Malice is not a crime in itself, Chichepi. Calm down, will you? No one's out to kill you. But you know what? Let's hold a feast. Anything else? Yes. Prestige, prestige, prestige. That's the name of the game. Two female mares. These things happen. It wasn't my favorite piece. Rundown. You know what I just said? I don't understand why I'm saying. Duke level Slav Gog set aside while I withhold. I haven't told him what he said. It could be interpreted as something. If you squeeze your head, a thick substance will form. I may not be alone in things funny either. Countess Atizilla spat out some of her drink when Duke level Slav repeated himself. The two could share the same kind of crude humor as I, or they could be offended by it. I won't know what either thinks unless I speak up. Repeat what you said, but slowly. Really think about it. I take the risk embarrassing him, hoping it's the same kind of humor. He is mortified by my perverse humor. A berserker poet. And an adventurer. Nice. Till next time. Now we go hunt. Again, I may not have stress, but I'm doing it for the sake of it. Just want to be respected by all. My lord, a heart. My wife got so just for me to join her chase. As soon as we're in the hill, she turns around and finally tugs my shirt over my head. It's finally sometime along my rose. Oh yeah. Let's just do that for once. You muttered married children. return home invigorated. While Sicily and Serbia separated itself, obviously, because of Pannonian there. Because god dang it, Croatia, why'd you do that? Smelly court. Oh, I gotta bail you out. I'm gonna be that kind of generous person. I'm gonna bail you out of your problems. So you won't have corruption in your lands. Heaven forbid that you get corruption. This is useless because I'm an independent ruler. So we should go this route first. As you see the most disturbing news, my brooding rival Baron Pavlos spread false rumors about me to the Chenghis, claiming my desire to earn his trust is nothing but a cynical attempt to exploit him. Preposterous. Nobody would believe in such lies. I say that because I'm the patriarch of my family. I'm the man of the house. How's my genius son doing, by the way? Because I should be the one assigned to the garden. Kano or Kano, whatever his name is. I'd be the one. Because he's the chosen one. Karan can have Veshyavonia. But no doubt, when I get older, put back absolute crown authority and designate a heir. But that's going to be a couple of years from now. Which no doubt I'll be around because my health is fine. And I have little account which made it difficult to communicate with. There was some effort I could teach him myself enough to carry conversation about intricacies of the realm's various feudal contracts. The subject deserves as much study as I can afford. Secrets. Ah, of course. God dang idolaters. Kind of funny they call me the kind despite the fact that I'm a bit of a dreadful person. Not as much because I'm wounded still. But still, what are you going to do about it? Vassals is independent. You plan on taking Bulgaria back and the rest of these parts? Papacy held more land than that. They was granted independence, so they gave them independence. Guess it was too much for him. Our efforts to get closer to the Sultan have proven challenging. No small part because of the pressure he struggled to deal with. Perhaps would aid me more ways than one if I were to ensure him a day by himself where he could spend time with carefree courtiers away from the stuffy council rooms and dusty administrative records. It's require a lot and it'll be worth it. After the laborious scene, I'll finally spend the evening alone with Chenghis. Speak about things that make life worth living and share a few good stories. By the time I left, it felt we had known each other a lifetime already. We are closer than ever. Would you like to have it lines? No. As I said, despite the separation of the Greek culture and newer ones that diverged, and this diverged from Greek and another one diverged from it, I'm starting to think that empire no longer resembles a Greek empire. we'll end the episode soon. Lithuania, Slavic pagan. Stop right there. I could care less of your skills. I just do know that you need to join the army. Even if you are a drunkard. So, we've learned plenty of lessons in this episode, which will stop right here at the beginning of 1165. Yeah. Whatever it was, I do not give a care. And no doubt in the next episode, I will be more of an administrator for the rest of my years. And I'm no longer wounded, I'm fully healed. Thank goodness. So I'll be around for a while. And no doubt, in that next episode, we will pass absolute crown authority again. Whether those vassals like it or not. This will give us more levies and more taxes. And I'll be a good administrator. So that way they don't form no liberty faction against me again. We do not want to repeat those horrors. That's what I'm here for. And if I wish, I can hold another piece of land for myself. Whatever it would be. Now let's see. Before we get out of here, I also want to point out it's not going to be until 7 years, which I'll be around in 7 years to see urbanization, which no doubt I'll be able to develop Visegrad even more. 46, 32, 40 down in Roma, no 44 there. Just looking at development around the world. And it's a wonder how, at the start of the game, it was the development of 2. And that was in Visegrad. And look where we are now. 32 there. And in 7 years, we're going to start developing Visegrad again. Which is again our home base. And all that. While we've been developing Crete thus far. 10 there. 10. In fact, it just finished. What's the development of roads like? Just curious. 14. Chaos is much higher. Okay, you don't need to develop that. Perhaps should start developing Visegrad again. It'll take you 2 years, but do not fret. Once you get urbanization, we'll be back up again. I could spread and promote my culture, but actually that's going to be another thing in the next episode. Or possibly 2 episodes from now, depending on how long this character lives. I actually have plans to diverge the culture, create a new divergent culture out of this mixed culture we've been making for centuries, and just form a distinctive identity that there can be no confusion. In other words, a Carpathian culture. We may use Carpathian as a nationality, but we would like to form a Carpathian culture. But of course that means we'd have to change that ethos, which it had served us well, of us being ahead of time. And of course, during those same 7 years, the size of men at arms will increase again. And all that just demonstrates the fact of who we are as a people. But soon we'll diverge again. Eastern Germany. I mean, we do have a bit of Austria. but we never really try to spread our culture there. But that could change in the future. So, still going to be a changing future during the latter part of the 1100s. So, we hope that you people will see us in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.